They all right now? You feel better?
I do feel better.
Yeah. Fresh and fabulous?
Fresh and fabulous. I just don't want my nude illusion.
It's not an illusion.
To ruin the illusion.
No, it's too solid a fabric to be an illusion. The only thing that you would see, this is the only thing, this tiny little piece of my brassiere is the only thing that lets people know that I might not be a woman. That's the only thing. Why?
That's throwing
Women don't wear bras?
No, I'm just saying everything else looks like a very natural woman, but you're like, wait a minute. No woman would wear something that ugly. Right? It's the only thing that's throwing people off.
That's it.
No?
That's it.
Fair enough. Oh, rude. Okay.
Yeah. Right under the radar.
Right under the radar.
Smooth. Hey dolls, it's me, Wilma Fingerdoo, with the Fingerdoo review of RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 6, Episode 4. Oh, sweet Marie and the ships at sea. We finally got to say goodbye to another queen, because we kicked this one off with the queens having to read the first lipstick message of the season. 4 episodes in, and we get our first.
Oh, no one's had to clean a mirror.
No.
They've been filthy. Absolutely filthy.
Yeah, and because Kiki kicked her out with the lip sync, she got to clean the mirror. I have to say, I thought it was so charming that Charity felt guilty about Dita going, because they all felt bad that she went. Somebody had to be first, but she felt, because she was on her team, she felt, well, should we have done more? No. That's, you did all you could.
You can't make someone
wasn't your job.
If they're bad at acting. You just can't do it. You can't do it.
I mean, Michelle screamed at her. He's dead. Yeah. Enough. If she's not getting it from that, it's not your job.
Yeah, that's the director's job. Yeah. I enjoyed that Kyron was expressing outer sadness and inner joy. Yeah. So she's not
Which is how you do it.
Clueless.
Which is how you do it. That's one less person in your way. Too bad, but still, thank you and good. The one thing I thought was hilarious was Zahira pointed out that now that Dita was gone, Lavoie was the old one. I mean, she didn't say it to her face, but you know, she's that close to it.
But I feel like Lavoie knew. I feel like she knew.
I think Lavoie has always felt like the old one. Yeah. Although I think sitting next to Dita, a dead person would feel young and fresh. Of course, Kyron got congratulated, whether people really felt it or not, for her win. Is that 2 for her now?
That's 2. That's her second.
4th episode in, it's her second win. Wow, there's certainly a front runner already on the show. And whether the other queens are happy or not, they seem to genuinely be thrilled for her. Well, except for Chanel.
Can't be thrilled for her. Anyone. Butter wouldn't melt in her mouth.
Not even.
She couldn't even get it in. She's like,
she'd get it in. I don't know. She looks like she's no stranger to butter, but she's not letting it melt. I'm just saying.
Chanel claimed not to care about badges.
Yeah, well.
Huh?
It's easy to say when you don't have any.
Yeah, very easy to say. Yeah, Marmalade was not having it.
No, she wasn't buying that. Yeah. Saw right through her veil.
Right through her veil. Her buttery veil. Next day in the workroom, Lisa was not hiding that Octavia's Hugh Grunt impression had made her feel something in the down below places.
Wow, yeah.
Something moved.
Yeah.
It did something for her.
Well, and clearly Octavia had no problem with that because she said, I've kept the wig. Of course, everyone congratulated Kieran for her 2 badges, which she was sporting proudly, except for Kiki, who seemed a little more than miffed, because she said, well, don't expect to get any more of them. It was just the way she said it. I felt like they were going to call for security, like they had to break up the drag queens or something.
Yeah, she was kind of acting like she'd been a very close second, as opposed to in the bottom lip syncing for her life.
Yeah. She couldn't have been further away. The only furthest away would have been her going home. But no.
I was confused. I was very confused.
Yeah, calm down, Kiki.
Calm down. Turn it down a notch.
Well, before the Rumble could start, thank God Rue arrived with this week's Maxi challenge. Girl groups. And normally, because Drag Race UK is closer to Christmas than other franchises.
Yeah, the UK loves doing a big Christmas single.
It's huge. You can make your whole year on a number 1 hit on Christmas, whether it's good or not. But I like that they decided to change it up, and this year it was going to be a Halloween song. Because Halloween's not a British thing.
No, they seem to be doing it more than they used to. But
well, the Americanization of Europe, But Guy Fawkes Day normally, where they burn down Parliament, which is horrifying in itself.
So much fun.
Yeah, well, hey.
Bonfire night. Yeah. Good time.
Who doesn't love a bonfire? Get out the marshmallows. Do it.
So the ghoul groups were going to be singing the goth pop smash Dead or Alive.
Yeah, not to be confused with the band. This was the song.
Laval seemed excited about singing and decidedly less excited about the fact that there would be choreography.
Yes. Yeah, I think the choreography scared a few of the queens. Yeah. To separate them into two girl groups, Ru just picked every other queen to step forward, and that was it. There you go. And Kyron was a little miffed. Kyron was like, well, I got to stand next to people I don't like next time. Okay.
I got to pay more attention to where I line up.
Yeah. And I'm surprised with a lot of these queens why they don't think that way when they start. It's like, yeah, we're friends, but you stand over there. Let's try and make this as random as possible.
Go into another room.
Yeah. Go home.
Seriously, go into
So group 1 was Charity, Relisa Slave, Lil, Lavoie, and Kiki.
Which meant that team 2 was Chanel, Marmalade, together again.
Wow.
Octavia, Kyron, and Zahira.
Yeah.
They seemed like pretty fun teams.
Yeah. So the queens got down to work, but before they really got into it, well, Zahira had to throw some shade and asked if Chanel and Marmalade would be able to work together.
And Marmalade was very gracious, and Chanel was Chanel.
Well, yeah. Clearly, if there was going to be trouble, it was going to be from Chanel, not Marmalade.
Although, to Chanel's credit, she did make fun of herself. She was very gracious when Marmalade was like, okay, well, keep track of what percentage of effort I'm putting in this time.
Yeah.
Rude, the crust.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah. So, of course, the most important thing the queens had to do before they wrote their lyrics was to come up with names for their girl groups. So team 1 went with The Things.
Yeah, they got to that pretty quick. Whereas team 2 started off with Frankenstein's Child, but then moved to Dracula's Child, which more like Destiny's Child. So I think that was a good choice.
Made a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Made a lot more sense.
Yeah. And then they got down to writing their lyrics. And sadly, Kyron either was having no trouble doing it or didn't care or whatever, but she was having so much fun that it was starting to bother the other queens. It came off like she was gloating or lording it over everyone that she had 2 badges. And you know what? Maybe she was. So what? She did. Yeah. It's not like she was making it up.
Yeah. No lies.
If you're jealous that she has 2 badges and you don't, try harder.
Get some badges.
There you go.
Or shiver and grab her badges.
Yeah, or push her to, pick something. But stop whining.
Just take your destiny into your own hands.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden they were recording their lyrics with the absolutely effervescent Alexandra Burke. They couldn't have picked a better person to work with these queens. She was as thrilled to work with them as they were to meet her.
Speaking of Christmas singles, was it like her first single off of, was she on X Factor or something?
Yeah, something like that.
It was the number 1
Christmas song that year. Yeah, and that cemented her career.
Yeah.
So Dracula's Child was first to record with Alexandra, and the first person up was Octavia. And there's a lot of information. Octavia was sharing a lot of information. She had to explain to her what a twink was for some reason. I don't know why she felt she had to. Yeah. But unlike Alexandra, was like, I don't know what that means. Does it mean I'm not cool? It's like, yes, that means you're absolutely not cool.
It means you're not a gay man. That's what it means.
Yeah.
It's fine if you don't know what a twink is.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have been okay not knowing. I mean, I know, and I'm okay with that too, but I didn't need to.
I'm just okay with not knowing twinks. They're very annoying.
Yeah. Well.
Even when I was a twink, I was annoying. I was not. I was charming.
No, you weren't.
I didn't know he was a twink.
You're still a twink.
It was so adorable. I had no idea the power I had.
You're a granddaddy twink. That's what you are.
I'm an aged twink.
Yeah.
Someone tried to tell me that, like, oh, no, I'm a 45-year-old twink. I was like, no, twink has an age limit. There's an age limit on that.
It doesn't.
As soon as you hit 25, you're no longer a twink.
Well, you're a twink to someone. Unfortunately, they're 90.
No. I disagree. You can't be an old twink. There's nothing sadder than a twink with a tiny...
So what's an old twink? What do you call an old twink?
Nothing. They're done. You don't call them anything.
Just gay.
Gay
and old.
Just gay and old.
Old gay. Grey gay.
Just an ex-twink. An aged twink.
More like a twunk.
Yeah. Isn't that a beefy twink? There's too many names.
No. A beefy twink is an otter, isn't it?
No, that's a furry twink. Skinny bear.
Ugh, I don't know.
I don't
it's
care
too much.
I don't care.
No, I don't care
I
either.
do not care.
Yeah.
Just call them all let's be done with it. I'm really sad we're going to cut that out.
Well, I am not. I am leaving that in because you are hateful. People need to know.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Also, she was doing a weird voice, so I couldn't tell if she was singing in English or she was singing in Welsh.
She was singing in Welsh, but she was also singing in a weird voice.
It was fair. I was like, I hope this is all Welsh because I can't understand the thing you're saying.
No, Possessed by the Devil, I think, is what that voice is
Possessed
called.
by something.
It was not good.
Yeah, they didn't show any of Zahira, so I assume that she did fine.
Yeah.
Just sort of moved past. It was like, okay. Yeah.
Not everyone's worth filming in the rehearsal.
Not everyone's interesting.
No. somebody that did get filmed, unfortunately, was Marmalade, who really was a bit wordy.
A bit wordy. I think her cleverness kind of got
in the way.
In her way.
Yeah.
When you've got music, you need to, things need to sync up. Syllables are important.
8 bars. 8 bars and off.
8 bars,
That's
girl.
it.
8 bars, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chanel kind of did a little rap kind of singing.
Yeah, she didn't do bad.
Which is fine. And I don't think they really showed that much of Kyron, so...
No, I don't remember much. But all in all, I think that not only did their session go well, but Alexandra was just so supportive of them all and so happy to be there that I can't imagine anything walked away from that feeling bad.
The ad-libs for Dracula's Child, those got a little...
Blue.
Little blue, Zahira.
Well, just Zahira. Everyone else was all right, but I don't know where she didn't. She even surprised herself.
Yeah, it was a bit shocking.
Next up were the things, and right out of the gate, Kiki, who I'm not sure if it was because she kind of went for Kyron in the workroom by saying you're not winning any more badges, but she seemed to be very full of herself by saying, "Well, I've recorded before."
I couldn't tell if that was bravado, confidence, or just insecurity, because she seems to be a little insecure about things. So
she
overcompensates. Are you trying to talk yourself up?
Yeah.
Like, is this real or is this a lie? Because so far, I'm thinking lies.
But then she recorded, and she was great.
She did a great job.
Yes.
She leaned into her island accent. Alexandra told her to lean into it a little harder.
Yeah.
But I thought she did a really nice job.
Yeah, well done for Ms. Keeks. Well done. I almost fell asleep during Lil. She just couldn't have been less energetic.
Yeah, she was told to boost her energy.
And then she did it the exact same way. It was so funny.
Okay.
But I kept thinking, this is not something auto-tune will fix.
No, you can't speed that up.
No.
Yeah, we didn't really see any of Charity, so we don't know.
No.
We don't know how things went with her. Lavoie, of course.
Killed it.
Yeah. Killed it. I had no idea what her lyrics were about.
Well, I like that she had to take that moment to explain, because she said, well, I'm wearing... a ghost sheet, which explains lyrics. And then she's like, running round in my sexy sheet. That's been in my head all week. It's so funny. Have you seen her YouTube video where it's her, I don't know if it's a place she's performed, but it's a casino, or it could be a cruise ship, I don't know. But I'm playing slots in my sexy sheet. She's not even wearing it. I'm in a sauna in my sexy sheet. So funny. I can't get over it.
I was really impressed by Kiki until Relisa stole her thunder. Did the island accent better, more natural, did the singing better.
She made it fresh and fabulous. Well done.
When do we do that?
Click. I know, but it's better than, I don't know.
Slamming our hands together like monsters.
Choreo.
Yeah, Dracula's Child was up first, and we got to see Zahira do the most painful sounding dip. And I was like, oh no, that's going to be the worst thing I see all day. Until we saw Zahira do the worst lift. And I was like, oh, okay, this is...
Well, I'm
really concerned about this team.
I can't believe that they had Kyron, who's the tallest on that team, and Octavia, who is the smallest queen next to Georges that's ever been on a RuPaul's Drag Race franchise, holding up Zahira. And Zahira, she's more Octavia's size. They needed another... I don't know why Chanel wasn't picking her up. Yeah. Chanel looks like she could pick something. She doesn't look like she's easily tripped. Do you know what I mean? Or tipped. Tripped? I don't know. Butter.
Yeah, it was an interesting rehearsal because it seemed to be Zahira, Kyron, and Octavia, and then Chanel and Marm.
Well, and the other thing was that there was such a conversation about this opening choreography, because Zahira was the first one. And she ended up on the floor, because the lift wasn't working, so they worked it instead of her being dropped, they just went down to the floor, the three of them. And Chanel was like, well, what are we doing? He's like, well, get down and crawl with us. And she's like, oh, no.
Oh, I don't crawl.
Oh, I can't in my shoes.
In my outfit and my shoes, I couldn't possibly crawl. There's no way I could crawl. No. Absolutely not. No, I'm just going to...
Marm looked like she would have done anything, and then she didn't care one way or the other. But if it helped them that she and Chanel stayed standing, then she was going to do whatever it was. The things were up next, and all I could say is they were lucky to have Kiki.
Yeah, Kiki really seemed to take the reins on this one.
Yeah, for any of the challenges where she's been less than, this she totally made up for. She was great with the queens. She helped get choreography that they all could do. But she took on the bulk of the physical stuff.
Almost all, yeah. Yeah, Kiki looked great. Relisa looked very sexy.
Yep.
Lavoie did not. And then
no.
Lil just looked lost. She just looked...
Lil was going to be lost anyway.
Yeah.
She was so worried about this whole thing. You could just tell the minute she was on stage with these queens, it's like she didn't just win a lip sync. And then it was Elimination Day, and I'm not sure if it's because Lavoie felt she hadn't done as well during the choreography section. I mean, she did great, but she felt she didn't do as well, or she was feeling a little sorry or sad for Lil.
Lavoie felt that Lil needed a bit of cheering up, and she thought it was a good opportunity to get to know her better.
Yeah, and oh my God, did we ever get to know Lil and her obsession with hyena?
Yeah. Yeah, spotted hyena lady genitalia.
Yeah, you're a vet, is that true?
Yeah. They've got weird genitals. They really do. They have,
Maybe that's why they're always laughing.
They have a huge clitoris. They have they don't have like proper labia. That they call it a pseudo-scrotum, which is very patriarchal to refer to lady parts by boy part names. But yeah, they've got strange genitals. That's why they used to call you spotted hyena in high school.
They just called me strange genitals, that's all.
Oh, they just went straight for that.
Yeah,
people like to ask me questions about animal genitals, and there's a lot of weird stuff going on. I mean, just look at cat penises.
I'd rather not.
Come get back to me.
No.
Spines all over.
I don't want to hear it.
Spikes.
No.
Kind of like their tongues.
I don't want to hear it.
But spiky.
Barf.
That's why cats make so much noise when they're having cat sex. Yeah, it's not a good time. It's very violent.
Yeah. Every kitten's a blessing. Every kitten's a blessing.
Every kitten's a blessing. Yeah. I mean, when I used to have to get cats out of heat, you had to be really violent with the Q-tip as well. I'm getting ahead of myself here. We're not going to include...
I feel like there's a lot of stuff that you did as a vet that was just more for you.
I would get cats out of heat, because you can get them out of heat. You can do it. You just have to simulate rough cat sex.
I don't want to know my cat that well.
I would maintain, like, solid uncomfortable eye contact with their owners, being like, you could spay your cat, we could not have to do this, you know. You could have just spayed your cat. Now I have to simulate rough cat sex.
Look at it! Oh, look at it!
As soon as they yell, you know you're in the right spot. You're like, oof. And then they smoke a little cat cigarette. Yeah, that's how you know you're done.
Yeah. That's what they have claws so they can get that cigarette.
I didn't hear any complaints.
No, not for the cat.
No.
What'd you charge for one of those? And then it was time for the runway. Well, Ru looked gorgeous in gold. Anytime Ru wears gold, I am at my happiest.
Fingerdoo for Ru? You don't give her fingerdoo.
I never do because I don't like a lot of what she wears. Yeah. As gorgeous as Michelle was, that dirty joke she said off the top about why witches don't wear underwear was so funny until Graham said that he wasn't wearing underwear and that's why his broom wasn't going anywhere. And just very, very vivard.
He's a funny one.
He's so funny. He's so charming and funny. And I don't know, there's something about him sometimes where I feel like he looks kind of sad. And I just want to give him a hug.
That's just the Irish.
Be okay, Graham. Is that what it is?
Just the Irish. Yeah. Oh, and our guest judge, the lovely Mabel.
She looked fantastic.
I didn't know who she was.
Oh, no?
No, and then my most exciting thing about her was like, oh, that's Nina Cherry's daughter?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. The Things were the first group to hit the stage.
I think they did an all right job. I thought Lil looked a little...
Lil was certainly a weak link in that chain. Her outfit, I liked her dress, but she looked like someone's mom.
She looked like someone's mom. She danced like someone's mom. I was expecting a little more from her because we've seen her lip sync twice now. Yeah. And she's very...
She seems okay when she's just doing it on the fly, but when she has to follow certain steps and hit certain marks, it's too much for her brain, and you can see her counting.
Yeah, choreo's not her friend.
No, bless.
Not a friend to Lil.
No.
Lavoie's costume was confusing me because if she hadn't told me that she was a ghost wearing a sexy sheet, I would have thought she was some sort of strange chicken.
I thought she looked like the feather duster from Beauty and the Beast. You know, it was very funny.
It was a fun
But outfit, she killed it. Also, of the group, she stuck out. Like, she was the only one in white. She had that cartoon face on the front. Yeah. It was just not in keeping with the rest of the group. But she was my favorite.
Relisa was very sexy.
She was fantastic. Yeah, she did exactly what she needed to do.
Yeah, Charity kind of did a good job, but nothing memorable. But Sweet Beats was Kiki throwing herself around.
Oh my God, Kiki killed this. I love that she did a flying cooter slam to end it, but that wasn't the end of it. She then did a surprise death drop, which scared the other queens off the stage and ended the number. It was fantastic. Yeah. I thought it was brilliant.
I thought this was Kiki's challenge. I thought she nailed it.
Yeah.
I thought
she looked great. Her wig looked great. There was nothing. You couldn't clock her on anything. She was absolutely perfect for the challenge.
Nicely done, Kiki.
Yeah, finally.
And then it was time for Dracula's child to show us what they had got.
And for the same amount of queens, the same amount of verses, and the same... This seemed to fly. It just had more energy. It seemed to be a shorter number. I didn't feel like... Because I always worry that I'm going to hear the same song again.
Yeah. Well, I was definitely worried off the top because Zahira's lift seemed to go about as well as it had during rehearsal.
The only good thing about Zahira's lyrics and her part of this, it was first, and we forgot about it immediately. That's the only thing.
Like, didn't they mix this? Like, they really didn't feel like they'd mixed Zahira's vocals at all. Like,
maybe that was as good as it was going
to
get.
Really, just that bad?
Also, I would like to point out that for somebody who said I can't crawl on the floor in my heels, I thought Chanel had on the exact shoes you would want to crawl around on the floor, and they were chunky, almost like work boot heels, and even her outfit, she could have got down on the ground with that.
Could've.
Yeah, what the hell?
She could have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marmalade, on the other hand, I think had... I didn't like her outfit per se for the number, but she didn't stand out from the rest of them in any bad or good way.
No, her lyrics were, I don't know, kind of not that memorable. No. She almost looked like she was a little hunched for me.
Yeah. She wasn't the best in the group, but she was far from the worst, that's for sure.
Yeah. Octavia and Kyron, though, they were throwing themselves into it. I almost forgot Octavia from that very first episode where she had all that energy
huge dance number
in that whole dance move.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, look at Octavia go. But of course,
this is the nicest wig she's worn on this show yet. But I had no idea. Was she a zombie? Was she a werewolf? What was she?
I don't know.
But she looked fantastic.
She looked fantastic.
Yeah, and she did a great job. This was her challenge for sure.
Yeah, I thought she and Kyron especially was just eating it up.
Oh yeah, Kyron killed it. Now I thought for her first time not having her signature makeup look, I couldn't keep my eyes off her. She looked gorgeous. And then the fangs were perfect.
The fangs were super fun.
And the outfit, it wasn't over the top. It was just enough for this number. I thought she was absolutely flawless.
Yeah, she didn't steal the focus from everyone. She was just really, really good.
But I did keep looking at her because of the group. She just stood out the most. Yeah.
She really did. I mean, Zahira was doing her best to not stand out. She just kind of...
She disappeared. After her number, I lost her. I didn't even notice her anymore. Yeah.
I mean, even at the end where she was the big kind of closing focus, and it felt like it was a rehearsal, like an early rehearsal. And we were still going to be able to see them do it a few more times before they did it for real. Yeah. So I was, that was how she was going to do it.
One kick, one can.
Yeah.
You're done.
You're done.
And then it was time for the runway. Category is Call Me Mother Nature. Lavoie was first, and I have to say, in theory, I loved her outfit because she was being a volcano.
She was being a volcano.
And I wish that one little swirl of fabric that kind of went up, I wish she'd had more of it. It just was like an odd little one piece. And I liked the dress. I wasn't mad that it was a quilted triangle because of what she was doing, but it was also, I don't know, it could have been better.
Yeah, I like the idea of it more than the execution. I felt the dress was a little unflattering because it was just kind of big and shapeless.
The side with the red on it was better than the rest because it was just black.
But I wish the lava had been done in a different way because it just felt like a print of lava, it was printed that way, as opposed to using a fabric that if I use this and this, it's going to give the impression of
there
lava.
Was so much of that dress. I don't understand why she didn't have lights running through it underneath. Something to punch it up. Also, I understand the makeup, the smudging and all that, but she didn't do a very good job of it. It was just kind of like last minute, like pa. But yeah, I'm going to say I'm going to give her a Fingerdoo because it wasn't the worst thing I've seen on that runway.
No, I like the idea. I just would have tweaked it.
Yeah.
Ooh. Next up was Kiki's snatch, looking very gorgeous.
Her skin was so beautiful. She's got a beautiful body.
Yeah, and she showed it off. There wasn't much to that outfit.
No, but it was
just a lot
tasteful.
of flowers in the right places.
It was demure yet mindful. But what the hell with that wig?
What was that wig?
Oh my God.
It was a tiny little wig.
A third the size it needed to be.
Please.
I'm surprised that she thought that was enough for that look.
And the fact that the wig was just sort of a little, 3 sizes too small kind of made me look at the outfit again and be like, yeah, this outfit, I think we're
It's all right.
I think I'm liking it more because it's the best thing that we've seen you do.
Yeah.
So like in context of what we've seen before, amazing. But then it was like, oh, I kind of want a little more,
I'm totally giving her a Fingerdoo, but that wig,
Yeah. You're doing great, girl.
I'm giving her a free pass on that wig only because, you know what, I get it. Maybe she couldn't find what she wanted or she doesn't have a wig whisperer like we do with Denise.
Like we do. Look at this. This is drag. This is what drag looks like.
Yeah.
Big, stupid wigs.
From
Gorgeous.
Denmark.
Mm.
You don't get this in North America.
You don't get this. You don't get this. Yeah.
We love you, Denise. Charity was next, and I wasn't sure what the hell I was looking at, but then the knitting that she had, I realized it was a spider. But the kind of claws coming up around her face and the weird stuff on her face, it just was a bit distracting. I don't think she looked bad. Her wig was gorgeous. Once I realized she was a spider, I liked the outfit more. I'm totally going to give her a Fingerdoo because it was so unique, and she looked great in it.
Well, it was nice seeing her in like just black and white.
Yeah.
Instead of all the colors.
Yeah.
I thought the dress itself was just sort of like a black, cocktail dress?
Yeah, she almost could have taken any dress and put those spikes on.
And then she just kind of put all the spikes on. I was like, okay. Well.
Her tights that she was wearing, though.
Those were cute.
I want to know where she got those. Is that a Temu buy? It was spectacular. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Well
done.
Yeah. Fingerdoo for Charity.
Next down the runway was Lil as an albino snake, shedding her skin.
Yeah, I like the idea of this outfit. I really
mixed
did.
Feelings, yeah.
And the dress looked great on her. It fit her nicely. It did nicely. But the headpiece.
It felt like the snake, like it wasn't shaped like a snake. Like it needed to be either pointing
The snout
in the front,
needed to come
the
forward.
eyes needed to be up higher.
Also, she had done like a cobra. She could have done wing or a hood or something that would have given us more of a snake feel. But yeah, it was.
It felt like a snake yarmulke that kind of got away from her, rather than a snake actual head.
Yep. But still, I mean, it's not the worst thing. I thought her girl group dress was worse, so I gave her a Fingerdoo. Nice job.
Next down the runway, Relisa Slave, wearing the most clothes we've seen her
ever.
wear.
She had, even though it was a nude illusion corset, it was a full corset. She was completely covered right to the ground. This was an Iris Van Helpern inspired piece of art.
It was beautiful.
And I love the blue.
Was she a hurricane? Was she waves? Who knows? Who cares?
The blue hair was gorgeous. I love the bangs on her. This is the most beautiful she's been so far. And she has been stunning the whole show. Yeah. So absolutely Fingerdoo. In fact, I want to give everyone else before her a Fingerdoo because this was so gorgeous. I'm not going to, but I want to.
You can rewind and do it.
No, I'm tired.
Okay.
Zahira was next, and if all they did was keep a close shot of her from the tits up, Fingerdoo forever and a day. This was so intricate. The flowers, it was gorgeous. I couldn't get over myself. But there was nothing else there. And the white outfit that she had on was fine.
Yeah.
But the fact that she shoved flowers into her boots cut her off at a weird spot and made her look incredibly short. If she just left the rest of her body in white and only had the flowers up by her head, it would have been fine.
It made her look so tiny, like those little striped boots
tiny,
made her look even,
like Relisa in the rom-com where she was kneeling and had the shoes on her knees. That's what Zahira looked in this outfit. From the neck up, though, Fingerdoo. I'm going to give her a Pinky-Doo because it was stunning.
It really was.
But it was not a complete. Again, I don't know what it is with her in the bottom half of her outfit, but she just loses interest.
Yeah. She's not into it.
She knows where her strengths are.
Yeah, up here.
Octavia was next, and I don't know if her outfit would have looked better if Lavoie hadn't worn something similar. I mean, Octavia was more fire than a volcano, but very similar elements, and she didn't do it very well.
No, it kind of felt, I forgot that she was doing Mother Nature because I'm like, oh, is this Halloween color? Because it's black and orange, kind of like Halloween colors.
Yeah.
But it just, but I forgot what the category was when she came out. Yeah. And I kind of forgot what her outfit was.
Also, is she making her outfits? Because they are very homemade looking. And I'm not judging her for that. But if she's not a great seamstress, I'm wondering why there wasn't some assistance from outside.
Yeah.
Because this just seemed like it would have been done better if somebody with a better skills to execute it would have put it together for her. And
there wasn't enough to it. Like, I liked that it was asymmetrical. I like the idea. I knew.
And another crappy wig on her head. What the hell is wrong with her?
I would have rather had the barrister's wig again.
Yeah. Because then you could light it on fire and it would have made more sense.
Yeah, I could pick on it.
Finger don't for Octavia, bless her heart.
And then it was time for Chanel, who...
How is this Mother Nature?
She was serving natural beauty.
The skirt, if she made that, she shouldn't be proud.
She's a seamstress.
Well, she made all her outfits. Did she make that metal top too? Did she weld that? Because maybe she should change careers and instead of being a drag queen, she should be a welder. But I did like the top. The
gold metal bustier.
I did. I liked the idea of it. I don't think she looked bad in it. It's just how she wore it. The skirt was fractured. It didn't look like it went with everything. I wish the skirt had been golded somewhere, or that some of that metal of the top had been over the hips maybe or something. Also, because of the metal of that top, she could have made it help sculpt her body a bit, just give it more of a shape. This was a finger don't for me.
It felt lazy.
I think felt
lazy. Well, any bad feelings I had about Chanel's natural outfit were immediately forgotten when Marmalade showed up, dressed as a gorgeous butterfly. I didn't know what was going on.
This was such a gorgeous outfit.
Spectacular.
It looked like something out of the 20s. Like if this had been featured in the movie Metropolis, I wouldn't have been surprised. It just was so classically stunning.
Gorgeous and sparkly.
And that wig, as flat as her wig was, she had all the sculpted pieces in the sides of it. It was gorgeous. Their makeup was gorgeous. She paints beautifully. I absolutely gave her a Fingerdoo because that was stunning. And
then last but not least, Kyron Thrax in an enormous...
This was so funny.
Enormous outfit. Just...
If all it was the big poncho and her horned wig, I would have been fine with that. But she sold the hell out of the mystery beneath the poncho.
The reveal. It was the most enormous...
So funny. She milked her time on. I'd like to know how long she was on that runway compared to the other queens, because she was there a while.
But she was really, like, she could hear the judges. She was playing with the judges. Everyone was having a good time. And then she revealed what she was wearing, and it was just a
catsuit with more flowers on it.
A catsuit with more flowers, yeah.
It was nice. It was nice.
Yeah. But even the flowers, they kind of looked a little...
Well, they were embroidered. It looked like they were patches that you would either iron onto jeans or something. But when you put them all together, they look really cheap. Because Zahira's flowers were fake too, but they look gorgeous.
Gorgeous. I did like that she had changed her makeup up a bit. And it was very, very pretty with all the color on her face. Yeah, it looked very nice. I enjoyed the presentation. The outfits... Either one.
Yeah, I still gave her a Fingerdoo because she sold the hell out of it. And it wasn't the worst thing on that runway.
Yeah. And then we got to hear RuPaul go, catsuit.
Yeah. Yeah, Ru has two reactions. She doesn't like what you're wearing, or she is going to rip it off your back. Watch out. Yeah. She'll have one in every color.
So then it was time for the judging, and Ru decided that because the groups were so close, it wasn't going to be a winning group.
Oh.
All the queens were going to be judged individually. How did you feel about that?
Well, there was clearly a better group than the other. Like, I would have been fine if Dracula's Child had been safe as a group and then just dealt with the others, but that would have only given them 5 queens. Yeah. So I understand why they went with 6 as they normally do. But the other thing was, there were some less than queens on both teams. So I feel like somebody would have got a free pass if they were in that group that did well, even though, like, if Lil had been in a group that won, she would have been the luckiest queen on that runway because she was clearly going into the bottom.
Yeah.
And she was one of the bottom. She was certainly part of the top and bottom queens that stayed on that runway.
So the safe queens were Charity, again, much to her distress. Lavoie, again,
much to her distress.
Octavia.
She's happy being safe.
She's happy.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of times where she is not. Absolutely so good for her, yeah.
And Chanel.
Again.
Much to my surprise.
So clearly the top queens were Kiki, Relisa, and Kyron, and rightly so. They all did an excellent job. No question about it. Yeah. And they did complain about Kiki's tiny afro wig. Yeah. But
and they did complain about Kyron's disappointing reveal.
Yeah.
But they had nothing but praise for their performances.
Yeah,
they
it certainly had nothing to do with their
job.
performances, and rightly so. They all three of them killed it.
Killed it. And also, I wasn't too surprised by the bottom three queens.
No.
So Zahara,
Lil was going to be in the bottom. There was no question. She knew before they even started recording their lyrics she was going to be in the bottom.
Yeah.
Which is probably part of the problem.
Zahara being in the bottom, also not a surprise to me.
No, not at all. Yeah. No.
Marmalade being in the bottom.
That surprised me.
It did surprise me. And I think it was because I was too influenced by her runway, because her runway was just so gorgeous. Yeah. But then when I heard the judges talking about her performance, where they were like, oh, well, we just kind of felt like you weren't giving it, and Marmalade's like, oh, well, I was having a great time. I was really enjoying myself.
And Marmalade's confusion continued into the workroom, but for the most part, I don't think any of the queens this time were particularly put out of place by their placement in the lineup.
No, I don't think it was a surprise at all. Like, maybe Zahara didn't think that she'd done as badly as she
certainly did a lot of work to be in the bottom.
She did. Sure. I mean, she was really doing a lot of heavy lifting for that team. So
no, she wasn't doing the lifting. It was Octavia and Kyron. Oh. Back on the main stage, Ru took no time at all to, and rightly so, the winner was Relisa Slaves. I'm so proud for her because I think she deserved to win. I thought she should have won the acting challenge last week, but she certainly is deserving of a badge. And
absolutely, yeah.
I don't think there was anything wrong with giving her this one.
No, I think she nailed the runway, and I thought she was great in the performance.
Her runway, I think, is what put her over the top. Yeah. It was really spectacular. Yeah,
definitely stopped Kyron from getting a third badge.
Oh my God, can you imagine LeVois if Kyron got 3 in a row?
She would lose her mind. Oh. She might murder someone.
Well, she's got nothing to live for now. She's the oldest. And of course, I don't think there was any surprise that Lil and Zahara were in the bottom. They were the weakest in both teams.
They really were. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It would have been a travesty if Marmalade had been one of the bottom two.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, there was no. I understand her being in the bottom, but there was no reason for her to be in the bottom too. No. Yeah. They sang Mabel's... What song of Mabel's did they sing?
Don't Call Me Up.
Don't Call Me Up. And I'm so glad that Zahara took off all that frou-frou.
But then it was her
But then there was nothing... But then she wasn't wearing that much. Yeah.
There was nothing to...
Lil took nothing off, not even the headpiece.
No. And Lil, once again, showed us...
Killed that.
What an amazing lip syncer is.
Yeah.
She was in the moment. She was groovy. She was just She was just feeling it.
And very natural. For all the awkwardness she has during a girl group moment, where that all goes when she's just lip syncing is beyond me. And how she can't channel that for the challenges.
Just can't do the choreo.
It breaks my heart for her. But at the same time, she redeems herself beautifully. And again, it wasn't about the tricks and the stunts. It was about the performance. And even though Zahara did go for her tricks and stunts, because what else has she got?
That's all she got. It
didn't seem like the right song for it.
It felt like she was just doing things. It felt like she was too fast. It felt like she wasn't on the beat. She wasn't in the moment. So it was no surprise to me that Zahara ended up being the queen.
Our second eliminated queen. No. And
Sasha.
I'm going to miss her because she was lovely.
She was lovely.
But she wasn't winning.
No.
And she was in the way of other people winning. So, it was about time for her to go. I mean, 4 episodes in, good for her.
Good for you.
Good for her. And so happy that Lil stayed because I'm not sure how Lil's going to do in the whole scheme of things because I've seen sedate queens do well before, but she got to kick it into a gear of some kind during a challenge. She's fine. Even when she's talking to Ru, she makes Ru laugh so hard. But yeah, there needs to be a fire lit for sure. What about you? What did you think? Do you think the right queen went home? Do you think the right queen won? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and why haven't you? What's wrong with you? Come on. And if you would like to support the Fingerdoo review even more, there is the YouTube thanks button just below this screen, as well as my OG PayPal link in the description box, along with a link to my Redbubble store and get your Wilma merch, and including my link to my Patreon page where the Fingerdoo family meets twice a month for live chats. You heard me. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having.
And until next time, miss us. Mwah! Seriously. Yeah. So 2 queens finally. 4 episodes in, 2 queens gone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss Zahara. But I'm not.
No, she wasn't gonna win.
No. No.
Yeah, get you out of
Yeah.
because it always concerns me when a queen like that sticks around and then
Yeah.
has a really amazing week, and
Yeah.
one of my favorites has a bad week.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh
And
gee,
you're like,
oh gee, is this where it all
so
trips
she's
up?
gone, so it's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will give this to Chanel. She definitely has a drier sense of humor. Like,
Yes.
when they were sitting there and she was making the comment about, do you feel smell like hummus? Like, she just has, when she delivers things, I'm like, ugh. Like,
Yeah.
because I'm not around her all the time, I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't like
But also there's a level of her where she is bitchy enough when she's being sarcastic, it still comes off as bitchy. And that's her fault.
It is her fault.
Because I would
Those
take
are her
sarcastic from any other queen. If Marmalade had said the same thing, I
Would
would laugh.
you?
Yeah, I totally would. Any of them. Even Dita.
Dita.
Oh, bless.
Bless.